In this final lesson related to Active Directory, I want to quickly cover Service Principal Names, or SPNs. SPNs are used to provide mutual authentication between a client application and some kind of service. And essentially the SPN provides identification between the service's type and the server actually running that to enable the client to confirm that is the true identity of this service. So services register these SPNs in Active Directory so the client can actually go and check them. And they're easy to actually query. So with the set SPN command, it's possible to list, for example, all of the service principal names registered by a certain server. So a domain controller is actually a great example. So I'm going to use the L switch and then one of my domain controllers. And here I can see all the different services that have been registered. And note the format. The first part is the service type, then a slash, and then the instance name. So typically the server. Now, there also may be a colon and a port number. If the service is being offered on the default port, there is no need for the colon port number. So in this case, DNS is being offered on the standard 53 port, so there is no colon 53. Like all of these are all using the standard port. So all we see is the service and then the server effectively offering it, or the instance name. And these should always be unique. You never want duplicates because that can actually cause confusion then of a client trying to authenticate if there are multiple SPNs of the same name registered to different machines. And I can see here this is offering the DNS service, RPC, Exchange Address Book, Global Catalog, various LDAP services, terminal service connections, all through this box. Users can also have service principal names assigned, but typically they're user accounts used by services. This command can also be useful for searching for them. So I can actually search for all duplicates, for example, of a certain service principal name. So as I said, there are no duplicates within this environment, which is what you want to see. You don't want to see duplicates. You can manually register them with the set SPNS and deregister with the -D. So it is possible to manually add these. That's typically not required unless there's some kind of advanced configuration you have. And normally applications will guide you if it needs those manually registered. You can force a host to register all its SPNs with the -R switch. For example, set SPN-R and then the server. This is forcing the services offered by that box to be registered. To really just understand what these service principal names are, you can add and remove them. Typically you shouldn't need to, and really just how they're structured. That service type / the instance name, and then optionally colon port number / service name. But often the service name and the instance name are actually exactly the same, which is what you're seeing in all of the examples that I showed on this box. As I look at this machine, I can see WSMan and then essentially just the instance name, which is the same as the service name. This concludes the lesson on service principal names.